faith, love, openness, willingness. The Awake Shop by Rev Skip. Inspiration you can wear. Hats, mugs, hoodies, and tees. Visit theawakeshop.org today. Faith, love, openness, willingness. You're in the flow with Rev Skip. Hey, good morning, family. It's your boy, Rev Skip, and welcome to another episode of In the Flow with Rev Skip. And if you are listening for the very first time through this podcast, I want to welcome you. I want to invite you to like and subscribe and do all the things and share the news. We are here to spread the word through the New Thought Media Network. I'm very, very excited about today's guest and our conversation. This is time that we get to drop deep, and you can kind of hear where I have been inspired to become Rev Skip and who I am. We always talk about the flow, and the flow is faith, love, openness, and willingness. We must have faith that a transformation can happen. Love yourself through the process. Be open and willing to have a new experience. And this willingness that I always talk about comes from this book I'm going to talk about, The Sacred Yes, and my guest, Reverend Deborah Johnson. But before we do this, I got to really bring in my co-producer, my partner in the lights. He has a saying for that we got from Preston Smiles.
Preston Smile, your partner in shine.
Your partner in shine.
Your partner in shine. I love that from Preston. Good morning, Godling. How are you doing today?
I am so excited. So I've been waiting for this for a couple of months now, and it's here. It's like when you
I don't know if other people out there watching can tell this, but I've been just glowing off of Rev Skip's shine at how excited he is about today's episode and this guest that we have coming on. I'm really excited this is going to be rich.
Well, I always say thank you so much for you supporting me and co-producing, because it really does take a village here at the New Thought Media Network.
Brother, it's my pleasure.
It's great. We get to do this, and I think down the way we're going to be co-producing other people who might want to come onto the network who has a voice. Ooh. We're going to be working together to support other people to have their voice. This is a great network, and I just want to put this out to all the listeners, all my minister friends that jump on. If you have an idea for some type of streaming show that you want to do at this media network, we're open to helping you having a conversation to bring your voice.
I need some help doing some more shows back here, guys.
I know, right? You are just like, at what time do you have to do another show? But I'm very grateful. Hey, how about last week's Preston Smiles? No. I've gotten so many comments about that episode.
Yeah, have you? I had a great time. Yeah, I thought it turned out to be a great show.
It was absolutely great.
Anybody
show.
Missed it, go back to the archives on the YouTube channels, and yeah, it's worth looking. He got some wisdom.
And also, if you want to hear it on, any type of audio, you want to hear it as a podcast, you can go to my website, skipjennings.com, or you can go to Apple and Spotify and Pandora. We're up there putting the audio on right after this. Everywhere. We're everywhere, brother.
Skip is omnipresent.
It's the New Thought Media Network, though, brother. And shout out to Rev Riz, who supports us and guides us. And, just shout out to this network. I'm going to be on Laura Topper's show. I'm going to be on Laura Topper's show really soon.
The Cosmic Prayer.
The Cosmic Prayer. When is that? That's Monday at 9 a.m.?
Mondays at same time as your show, I believe.
Same time as my show 10, on Mondays.
10, so it'll be 9 your time. That's correct.
Okay.
See, and I did that earlier this week when I made the studio for this show. I thought, his show's at 10 a.m. Oh, no, that's 10 a.m. your time, not my time.
So we set up the notifications.
Rev Skip had to send me a message on this. Hey, you've got this coming an hour early. Oh, you're right.
That's okay, because those who don't know, we're all in different places. I'm here in Cali, you're in Colorado, Laura Topper's in UK. We are really a global community, and CSL ministry, but we are global, spreading this light. So, Amen. Brother, I just love you.
I love you too.
We get to do this every week, yo.
Hey, let's get to your guest. This is exciting.
I love it. So first of all, though, you know what we have to do. We have to get down with the get down. And we start off with... It's Wellness Wake Up with Rev Skip. So our Wellness Wake Up is about the fitness. You know, as a personal trainer for most of my life and the last 15 years, really embracing being a spiritual leader, we combine the both. There is no compartmentalizing our fitness with our spirituality. It is all the same. God is everywhere present. The light, the yes is everywhere present. So when I lift weights, I'm lifting weights with this energy of I am strong in God. Or when I'm running, I'm breathing and I remember I'm alive in God. Or I'm doing yoga, I'm flexible in my life because God has my back. So here's some, I'm not going to read all 20. Don't get crazy here, but I'm going to pop them up for you and you can pick which ones you want. I'm going to give you a couple tips that really speaks to me. So if you're viewing this, it's 20 exercise benefits. Number one, everyone wants to reduce a little bit of body fat, but I'm going to give you a little bit of twist on that. I'm learning that as I'm a 57-year-old man, my body fat is different. My body is different. And yes, I want to be the healthiest I can be, but I need to release a little bit of stuff. I have that little COVID weight that I'm hanging on to. I want to reduce it, but I'm not going to get back to my 21-year-old body, and that's okay because I love myself right where I'm at. Another thing we talked about, the oxygenation of the body, getting oxygen in. Every time we breathe, we remember that we are alive. Every time that we breathe out, we're breathing out the prana, the energy of life itself. If my family, not only diabetes doesn't run in my family, it gallops. So I have a lot of diabetics that happen, that experience diabetes in my family. So if you're experiencing any type of diabetic energy, just exercising will help to reduce and balance out your sugar. How about boosting your mood? I think we all want to have a little bit more of a better energy, especially as we're going through the sacred reset, also known as the pandemic. Don't forget to exercise right where you are. You don't need to have a lot of space. You don't need to have a lot of room. You just need to have your willingness to shift and connect with spirit through exercise. I'm working on my fourth book, and the fourth book is called Soul Fitness. That's the working title right now. And it's about how whenever we work out, it is a spiritual practice. So I'm inviting you to tap into your spiritual work through your fitness. Yeah, that's what you're going to do this week. I hope. And now we're going to get into our That is the sound of our quotable ponder, the page turning. Our quotable ponder comes from our guest today, and this is one of my favorite quotes, one of my earlier quotes of remembering and going, oh yeah, this really makes sense to me. It says, every seed knows what it is to be. Our job is to create the fertility, I'm going to say fruitility, but it's fertility, create that space. I remember Rev D talking to this about us in the class that, a tree or a apple tree doesn't have to say, well, I think I need to be an apple tree. It just grows as an apple tree or an orange tree. That seed is already planted within us. We just need to create the fertile ground. That's all we have to do. And I'm not going to do a lot of teaching like I teach on the Quotable Ponder because I have the real deal right in this space. So I have so much to ask, Reverend D, and I love Rev D so much. So let me just tell you a little bit about her, and on her website, she will tell you a bio can never say who she is. But I'm going to read a little bit of the bio and then bring her in right away. And Reverend Deborah L. Johnson. I almost said Jackson again. Excuse me. I don't know. I was talking about Cheryl Jackson before we got on. I'm so sorry. Deborah L. Johnson is a dynamic public speaker, strategist, a consultant, organizer, a writer, teacher, facilitator, and trainer, a long life social justice advocate, and she is known for her ability to bring clarity, civility, and humor to complex emotional charge issues. She is absolutely amazing teacher. She has been my teacher for a very long time in so many different areas, but she is also the founder of Inner Light Ministry. Inner Light Ministry, it's a bomb. I go on Facebook and I watch, the past episodes, get so much from it. She's an omni-faith spiritual community. It is an omni-faith spiritual community of about 1,500, I'm sure more now, especially with Facebook. I want to talk to her about the Motivational Institute and development and what she's doing there. But she's also one of the co-founders of the founding members of Agape International Spiritual Center. And her mentor is my mentor, and his yes, Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith, has opened up a lot of us ministers to say yes to what we're doing. So shout out to Reverend Michael. But, that's enough for me. I got to bring in Rev D. Rev D, please come into this space. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm getting through my nerves. I've still got my nerves a little bit, but I'm good. I'm really, really good. And my best friend was saying, why are you nervous? Reverend D is going to love you. I said, because it matters to me. It matters. You matter. You helped me to become who I am, to say yes to what was inside of me. And you allowed me to give myself permission to be exactly who Rev Skip is. So thank you, Rev D, you're here.
My pleasure. Definitely my pleasure.
How are you doing? How are you doing?
I was already good when I woke up this morning, but seeing you just makes my little heart go pitter patter. Honestly, watching you just thrive, just being authentically you, integrating it, putting it all together. Wow. Yeah.
Thank you. You.
You are rocking it.
Thank you. You were reminding me, we met over about 15 years ago, one of the very first Revelation conventions that I attended. And part of my service was picking you up from the airport. And it was so divine. It was wonderful. I was nervous, and you just made me feel at home. It was just a beautiful experience.
Well,
from the start.
I'm glad you were so attentive, and I realized that I kept making your job harder for you because you were supposed to know where I was at all times. and I get wandered away and being pulled over here or there. So you did a good job of keeping up.
Thank you. One of the things I am very curious, I always ask my guests, how have this pandemic shifted you? How have you moved through it? And how are you feeling through what people are calling the pandemic? I'm calling the sacred reset. This has been a sacred reset for me and for all of us. But how's this time for you been?
I've said to many people that COVID literally shattered all of my plans, all of them. And yet my dreams are coming true.
Wow.
Shattered the plans, but the dreams are coming true. And as far as this reset goes, people say you should watch what you pray for. Those of us that have been really praying for some real transformation, I knew there would have to be something drastic mean, really, really drastic to send us on a trajectory of reflection, of reflection. You know, and it's not just the pandemic. It's everything that's been happening now, all the social justice issues, you know, the economic issues, the health issues. It just goes on and on. But what I know is that you can't heal what you don't feel. So as nerve-wracking as this time has been, there's been this huge opening, not the least of which is the really rise of the Black Lives Matters movement, and all of the social political drama that's going on. But it's not just happening at us. It isn't even just happening for us. We have actually ushered in this day with our prayers, whether we know it or not.
You know, speaking of what was going on, you were the one who invited us practitioners and ministers to understand that you can't compartmentalize political and spiritual. And that brought me to a deeper understanding in the midst of all this, that where I was going, what is this? And I really wanted to go, okay, I'm going to be over here as a minister, but, you know, I'll be over here on the streets with Black Lives Matter. And you were the one saying that you can't compartmentalize this.
No, you can't. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe you were in class with me. I happened to be in Los Angeles. I chose to commute. I live in Santa Cruz now. California, chose to commute to do this particular class at Agape Ministerial School in LA. And I think you were in my class the night that Trump got elected.
We lost our minds. We lost our minds.
The class lost their minds.
Yes.
And I remember thinking, oh God, you know, my own spiritual community is there in Santa Cruz, but I knew I was where I needed to be with all of y'all. This ministerial students, and just saying, don't give up, you know, hold on. Everything has a purpose.
That's right.
That we have to breathe through it all, and that we truly are here for such a time as this. Such a time as this. The only way that we're going to get to where we want to go is through.
Yes.
Everything unlike what you're trying to manifest has to come up to be healed. And you can't heal what you don't feel.
That was the first time I had heard that was from you.
You can't heal what you don't feel. So as maddening as all of this is, I tell people I'm actually happy for it, because now we can do something about it. Now we can take action. You know, I don't hear anybody talking about we're post-racist just because we elected Obama. You know,
right.
Like, we're really talking about some stuff now.
Yeah.
The covers have come off. You know, watching the whole insurrection has put it front and center that a lot of things that many of us have been saying for a long time that people just couldn't see. Now it's self-evident.
I remember you praying for us in that time, because it was so incredible, this energy that we were feeling as a collective class, as classmates. And when you said we are ministers for this time, I couldn't hear that. I could not hear it. And a lot of our classmates said, but I remember you praying this, and I remember you encouraging us. And that was the beginning of understanding, why I am becoming a minister.
Yes. Yes. Literally, for such a time as this, to bring it and to pull it all together. Yeah. Now is not the time for despair, because regardless of what it looks like on the outside, everything is just energy.
Yes.
It's just energy. And that's what's going to win or lose right now, is the frequency that we vibrate at. And now is the time for everybody to up their game. Part of what you were saying just a few moments ago about our physical well-being is part of that. You know, upping our physical chi. Well, we have a physical body, but we have a spiritual body. We have an economic body. We have a body politic.
Yes.
And we have to up its chi. Just like you had those 20 points of what it is that you need to do to keep your physicality up. It's the same thing in the collective. There are not different sets of rules for the personal or the political, for your body, for the body politic. It's all the same stuff. It's all the same stuff. And now is the time to up our game. It's not the time to whine and cry and point fingers about what they're doing and blah, blah, blah. Because you know what? There's an irony to all of this. The whole, we got to take it back.
Yes.
Means people thought they lost it in the first place. that all this pushback that we're having right now to suppress voter rights is because we were so successful.
That's right.
In our voting. So
that's right.
We can't lose sight here that we've already been accomplishing a lot of what we say that we want to do, and what we're getting now is the pushback resistance.
You know,
and
Texas,
that's part of the process.
And I'm saying Texas, I'm so glad that you said that, because I was reading about what was going on in Texas and wanting to arrest people. And I had a moment going, and I heard Spirit saying, well, this is nothing new, brother. This is nothing new. They've been wanting to arrest us for wanting to stand up for justice for so long. But that means we're doing something right.
Not only is it not new, we just passed Juneteenth.
I know.
As a national holiday. And Juneteenth celebrates that moment when the slaves in Texas found out that they had been emancipated 2 years before by the Emancipation Proclamation, when Lincoln said that all of the slaves in the rebelling states were free as a political tactic. Mm-hmm. So Texas... Now, my family from Texas. Now, I'm not like trying to bash Texas.
Right.
But I'm saying in terms of a constant institutional consciousness of repression, and like voter repression, that's why we have a Juneteenth, because Texas was the last one. However, it was also a governor from Texas that signed the Civil Rights Bill. And I would invite anybody and everybody, look up George W. Bush's open letter, June 2nd, 2020, on George Floyd. You won't find anything more brilliant. And I am not a Bush fan, but I even read it in my sermon because his analysis of where we are around race issues was so spot on.
And see, my past experience with Bush stopped me from reading it. But thank you, Rev D. I'm going to go in and read that, because I'm like, I don't want to read anything he's got to say. But thank you. Thank you and I have seen the shift in some politicians who you would think that would never have a shift. I've seen a shift happen in some politicians now who were so hard right. They are coming to this awakening. I think that we are all coming together. Do you believe that we're all getting this awakening of what's happening? Some are and some aren't, but I believe that some are.
What I would say is that the awakening of oneness involves everybody. So if you are polarizing and you are othering and demonizing and villainizing, you are part of the problem.
The problem. Yep.
Because when the solution comes, the solution is always going to involve everyone.
Yes.
And that includes the so-called oppressors. You got to really remember that when you are politically strategizing, you want to be able to bring everybody to the table. The slaves could not have emancipated themselves. The women couldn't give themselves the right to vote. Gay people could not have created marriage equality. People with disabilities were not the ones to sign the American Disabilities Act. It takes white people to have an underground railroad.
Yes.
So if you're busy categorizing people because of who they are or the groups that they appear to belong to, you're going to miss your allies. You're going to miss your partners. You're going to miss your collaborations. To me, the biggest evidence of this is Nelson Mandela. Okay, so Nelson Mandela was convicted to life at the age of 47. It wasn't his first trip to, the rodeo to jail. So he did 27 years of that. Now, at any time, he could have gotten out if he had just denounced that he was going to try to change apartheid. When it got to the point where there's about to be a bloodbath, the president, the clerk, comes to him and basically says, can you save us white people? Because the writing's on the wall. We know we have to change. If we let you out, can you help with all this nonviolent stuff that you say that you believe in? Fast forward, Nelson does get elected. And you know what he does? He appoints the clerk, the guy that was president before him, having him in prison, makes the clerk the vice president. And the two of them together win the Nobel Peace Prize. That's outrageously unheard of.
Yes.
But they knew what they were doing. And the Truth and Reconciliation process, where you got to come together, you got to take a look at this stuff. You have to make amends. But the way through is always going to involve the people who are part of the problem.
Wow. I'm not sure if this, and so I'm going to bring it to the mix. I've actually said this on the show before. There was a time, especially after seeing what happened in January and seeing the insurrection, and I decided that I would leave the Democratic Party. Now, I'm still very much politically active and understand what's going on, but I didn't want to be in the partisanship. I don't know if that was the right thing, but it was the right thing that my spirit was saying. I wasn't moving away from something. I was moving into having more freedom to really open up the conversation with everybody has to be at the table. At the LGBTQA, where I'm the co-director, the A for us stands for allies. We want everyone to come into the mix to have this conversation in this ministry. I am so in agreement with you.
Yeah. Part of what excited me so about what happened after the murder of George Floyd is it wasn't just Black people in the streets.
That's right.
It was white people in the streets. White people talking about Black Lives Matters. But the subcontext of it, which was so exciting for me, was they were saying white supremacy has to go. White supremacy has to go. And now, for the first time, I'm hearing white people talk about white nationalism. I'm hearing white people talk about white supremacy.
Yes.
That's when it starts to change. That's when it starts to change. When you've got the white abolitionists who are fighting against slavery, when you have white people against white people trying to stop the supremacy.
Yes.
See, we can have a Me Too movement from here to doomsday. When men get out in the streets and start marching for women.
Yes.
And when men start calling men out on how women are treated, then we'll have a shift.
I hear you. I hear you. Rev, we can talk about social act all day long. I mean, but I got to get into this book, The Sacred Yes. Oh my God. Okay, so this is probably, Rev always says you're going to have like 3 books that you're just going to go back to. All these books are going to come out, and we were in Ministerial. Says you're going to have 3 books, and I was like, no, all these books are brilliant. And I remember Rev says, I guarantee you, Skip, you're going to have 3 or 4 books, maybe even 1 book. And I remember in the symposium, The Sacred Yes, along with Spiritual Liberation, and now The Endless Practice are my 3 books. I remember a time one of the very first classes that you had, we walked in, you said, okay, so y'all, what are you saying yes to? And we all had, ministerial students. We said, I'm saying yes to becoming a minister. I'm saying yes to my ministry. I'm saying yes to this and this and this. And you go, nope. You're saying yes to the oneness that lives within you. You're saying yes to the oneness. Until you say yes to this, you can't do any of that. You called us out, and it was like, what? I'm going, but I'm saying yes to a ministry. No, this book, and can you please explain, because I don't know how you downloaded all these letters. That would have just sent me to like well, God, don't give me no more letters today. Can you talk about that experience of these sacred letters?
So what Skip is referring to is I get these spirit downloads, and they come literally in the form of a letter, full punctuation and everything. Typically, I record it as I'm hearing it because it's like a conversation. And there's a series that's out that are transcriptions of these recordings. The series is called Letters from the Infinite. It has 2 volumes now. Volume 1 is The Sacred Yes, and Volume 2 is Your Deepest Intent. And it is a phenomenal process. I actually describe it fully in the preface of The Sacred Yes. But I tell you, it took years. It took years to develop the capacity to hold that much energy and not be just completely knocked out by the process. And it being scary, right, as well. Thank God I was raised in the Holiness Church, in the Church of God in Christ. So I had a context for it, but being raised gay in the Holiness Church, that's no joke. And I grew up in the Motherlode. I was in Bishop Samuel Crouch's church in Los Angeles.
Hallelujah.
So just the process of giving myself permission to have a prophetic voice and to honor that has been quite the journey. Because, in the Church of God in Christ, they don't even ordain women as ministers, let alone a lesbian. Oh, please, clutch your pearls. This is so
I remember going to
it taken to do that and see this. Yes, we can't say yes to the particular. You can't say yes to just the outer expressions and forms, because those are always shifting and changing.
Yes.
This yes is deep within your soul. This yes, contrary to the popular belief, we make yes a response to something. Like it's an agreement. What is this that I'm saying yes to? Let me see if I like it. Let me see if I want to do it. And then maybe I'll give a yes. The yes is on the front end.
Yes. See, this is what
the foundation.
It's all in red. It's all in red, that we understand what are we saying yes to? What is this yes? And then where is the yes? And these are my 3. I got to read a little bit of this. This is about what it spoke to me. And thank you. And I'm reading this. I'm going, well, God is speaking through me, or speaking to me through this writing of Rev D. And it says here, when you say yes, my children, yes to me, yes to us, yes to our oneness. If only you would start from this point. When you say yes, there does not need to be a particular something that you are agreeing with. The agreement, when you say yes, is to our oneness. That is what I keep going back to, especially when I'm in a place of, and I was working for Equinox for 14 years, and we're trying to get back into teaching yoga for Equinox again. My EDD ran out, and I've been in this space of Lord have mercy. And it's been that yes, it's been saying to me, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And it's been a lot of crying, a lot of tears, a lot of, but you also say in the book that yes is that small, still voice. So I had to get still to hear the small, still voice. This book changed my life. And on front cover, it says, I am with you always.
Yes.
And when I look at that, I'm like, okay.
Yes, always. Always, always, always.
Yes.
Yeah. Beckwith, our mutual mentor, used to always say, what you're looking for, you're looking with. What you're looking for, you're looking with. We already are it. We are it. when we objectify the spiritual qualities, we chase after them thinking that it's outside of ourselves. But you're it. All of the love, all of the health, all of the power, all of the joy, all of the everything you will ever experience is not only within us, it's who we are. And it's just our job to tap into it, to cultivate it and allow it to come out. It's not missing. It's not out there. When you're sick, where's your health? Where is it? It's in that same body that's diseased. It's in that same body that's ill. But there's a perfect pattern of health in you that never gets disturbed by what happens on the outside. That's what healing is. Healing is the restoration. There might be different methods. Western is a little bit more invasive than, say, Eastern practices, but all of it is still banking on there's something that works. If you get a heart transplant, something as drastic in Western medicine is cutting you open, taking somebody else's heart and putting it in your body. It is still banking on there's something in your body that works. There's something in your body that's going to embrace this new heart and literally not skip a beat. So in healing, we're always trying to work with what works. What works? There's something that's not disturbed. And like I said, in the outer, so in the inner, in the micro, the macro, it's all the same thing. There's something about everything, our relationships, our body politic. There are perfect patterns up underneath there that can't get snuffed out, that can't be disturbed. I don't care how much war we have, the concept and the idea of the beloved community is still there. So what do we focus on? Do you focus more on the illness or do you focus more on calling forth the health? Do you focus more on the denigration or do you focus more on the majesty of the divinity of every human being? That's what you're saying yes to. You're saying yes to those underlying perfect patterns that pre-exist everything. And when you stand there, you're not being jerked around by the world. This is the economy. This social media. This is my job. This is my marriage. Cut the damn strings.
Yes. Cut them. And you, the day after Juneteenth, you were speaking at Agape and you invited us to come out of the closet.
Oh yeah.
Come out of the closet as a spiritual being. And I got to tell you, I had a very prolific experience. Last week, I was speaking at a convention, a fitness convention. I hadn't spoke in years. I took some time of doing fitness conventions to finish my thesis and finish ministerial. So they invited me to come back. They also asked me to come back to teach a course on meditation, a class on meditation. So I'm in the middle of this and I am trying to make sure it's not going to be so separating people from what I'm saying. I'm trying to give it the fitness tone. I was not in my flow and I just heard come out of the closet, come out of the closet. And when I started to really speak from the heart and freed myself to say the word God and talk about what we're really doing in meditation, we're really connecting with our divine being within us. Everything started flowing. And then I got these comments later on, people on social media going, that was one of the greatest experiences. I realized that me coming out of the closet and allowing myself to say everything that I wanted to kind of really tiptoe around. When I freed myself to see it, there was success. There was the divine yes within me. Yes.
You know, the closet is where we put the things we're not using. See, it's like you're not wearing all your clothes at once. So what you're not wearing, you stuff away there in the closet. But bring all of you. All of you, because every single aspect of you is going to be part of your ministry in life. Don't try to hide anything. I don't care what it is. If you've been incarcerated, if you've been raped, you've had divorces, you've had bankruptcies, like whatever that is, your entire spirituality. We don't give ourselves permission to be the all that we are everywhere. So we lump ourselves up, and I'm going to show this part over here on my job, and my family gets to see this part, and my friends see this, and the church sees that. Cut it out. Integrate yourself.
Yes.
Bring all of you. No shame, no blame, no judgment. The universe is like a huge compost pactor where it just takes everything so that even the crap in your life is fertilizer for your seeds of promise. Bring all of it. You don't have to figure out where it fits or how it fits or what's going to happen. The alchemy of the divine shifts it, because matter is neither created nor destroyed. It only changes form. Ugh. So you can't get rid of anything. It's just going to change form. It's just going to change into something that's a blessing to you and to somebody else. Bring all of you.
You know, there was a long time I wanted to hide my HIV status, and I wouldn't talk about it and said, this is nobody's business. But then I found this freedom to really tell, I've been HIV positive for over 25 years, and I am thriving, living my best life. And I don't live in the HIV, I live in the healing. But it's a part of my story. So when I even tell this, sometimes when I'm speaking from the pulpit, I am in absolute gratitude every morning I can wake up, and what I deem to be negative has become a testimony, has becoming a liberation moment for me to speak these words.
Yes. And, you and I are the age and the generation, oh my God, like hundreds of my friends and colleagues I watched die.
Yes.
From complications of AIDS,
Yes.
HIV and AIDS. And the living testament that you are to be a physical trainer, HIV positive for over 25 years. That's a victory. That's a story. That's a place to stand in. So you're standing in that place where you can say, don't even talk to me. Can't nobody tell me nothing.
Yes.
Because I have already proved it. I do prison work deep inside prison. And I can tell you now, my best mentors, the people who have taught me the most, are people who have been incarcerated, and most of them lifers. In fact, check out in YouTube, my TEDx Berkeley talk in 2016 is on my experience from inmates and what they taught me about forgiveness, particularly a guy that did 26 years and was innocent, and our interactions in and out of prison. I even end it with a spoken word piece. I've got this alter ego, Wilhelmina.
Wilhelmina, I love it, Wilhelmina.
Yeah. She always asking why. So she starts off with why I got to forgive. Why I got to forget, and why I got to forgive.
Yes, I love that.
And she proceeds to answer.
I love that. I could talk to you all day, and I just want to thank you. But what I want you to please leave our viewers and our listeners on the podcast, just the yes moment is that mic drop. If you could leave us with just some type of inspiration, one thing that you want to let us know that we can walk away and be inspired by.
Yes. If I would say the one thing, it's pain pushes until vision pulls. Pain pushes until vision pulls. Just say yes. Not to anything in particular. Just close your eyes, throw up your hands, take a deep breath, and just say yes.
Wow. That's the spiritual mic drop, y'all. Just say yes. Just say yes. Thank you. This has been a highlight of my life. And I can say that with just all respect and love for you and following you and listening to you. And every time you speak, you just inspire me to be better. And, I also have learned from you is that you can't do the work for me. You inspire me to do my own work, to go deep, to have my own yes. So I want to thank you for inspiring me for me doing the change and working through it and getting to the point where I'm at today. You inspire me. Good. So where can we find you? I know you have your website, which is dope. I love your website, which has all your YouTube on there as well. What's your website?
Yes, my website is Deborah L. Johnson.
Yes.
www.deborah.ljohnson.org.
Yes. And people can reach out to you if they are looking to have spiritual, social activism within their workspace. You're a corporate trainer. You do all this. So they can reach out to you for this. Yes. Yes,
they can. And you can find me on social media as well. And you might even want to check out Inner Light Ministries, which is the ministry that I founded 25 years ago. We're having our anniversary coming up. And yes, I am available to help, to assist, to facilitate. I'm all about the transformation, particularly healing those big divides that we have to get us to that oneness.
Thank you so much for the work you do. Also, if you go to Rev D's Facebook page, you can look at Inner Light, all the past Facebook, Zoom things that you did while we were in the middle of the pandemic. And you're still doing that every Sunday, right? It still comes up.
It's there. You can check out our YouTube channel.
Yes.
There's lots there, as well as on my channel and Inner Lights as well. If you Google me, you will not have any trouble.
Yes.
You will not have any trouble finding things. Just put the L in there. There are a lot of Deborah Johnson.
There is. On Sunday, sometimes I do church hopping. You know what church hopping is. Some Sundays you start off with one church and you got to hop. So I do it online. I just do church hopping. Yeah. Thank you again so much. And thank you to all my listeners and those who are listening to the podcast. Remember, please subscribe and share the word. And y'all, you can take me home and not cook me breakfast. You know what that means. Go to my website, skipjennings.com. Go to skipjennings.com, find out how you can sign up for my newsletter and my app. And you can catch me on Inside Timer every Thursday for gentle yoga. And then every Friday morning, I do a live event. It's called Get in the Flow with Rev Skip. And we have music, we have readings. This morning, your book was the reading for our live event. And I told people all about you. So be online. And I have some of our Malus online right now who was on my early morning gathering. Also, find out about my book, the little book for big transformation. And yes, stay in touch because we have a soul fitness workshop, a 4-week workshop that's coming through Inside Timer on Wednesday afternoons, where we're going to compartmentalize fitness and spirituality, which is already happening, but we're going to be becoming awake and aware of that. Also, if you want to grab a t-shirt, this is my Yes t-shirt. And the new version of this says, just say yes. It's the very top. It says, just say yes. And it is the yes of you expressing spirit. Or you have our Get in the Flow t-shirts, all the t-shirts that's happening. It's at thewakeshop.org. It is open. The Wake Shop is yes, it came out of me that I wanted to do forever, and it's happening. So check that out. Also, if you want to donate to the New Thought Media Network, you can go to the New Thought Media Network website /donate, and you're able to donate. That's ntmedia.org/donate, or you can donate to my ministry, which is Skip Jennings at skipjennings.com on Venmo and PayPal. That's kind of it. What a day already. Just so, again, want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything that you do for us and our community and for the world. You are the bomb. You are the bomb.
Hey, back at you, my brother.
Thank you so much. And everyone remember, thank you. And everyone remember, transformation is a choice and you can choose today. Until next week, everyone, peace and blessings.
Thanks for joining us on today's episode of In the Flow. If you enjoyed this programming, please help us spread this joy. Be sure and give this video a like, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. New Thought Media Network can be found on Facebook, or our YouTube channel. Additional contributions are greatly appreciated at ntmedia.org/donate or find Rev Skip on PayPal and Venmo. Tune in on Fridays, 10 a.m. Pacific, 11 Mountain, when Rev Skip welcomes a new guest. Until then, faith, love, openness, and willingness keeps us in the flow.
Shop Rev Skip becomes the Awake Shop. Inspiration you can wear. T-shirts, hoodies, hats, and mugs. Head over to the Awake Shop now. awakeshop.org.
New Thought Media Network is on the rise. We're looking to grow with you. Do you have technical media experience or perhaps a desire to learn? Are you willing to volunteer your precious time and attention? We share this message to benefit all. If you possess a computer with a camera and a microphone, we will share our knowledge with you. Behind the scenes or being the star, let us bless our one. Contact us at info@ntmedia.org.